So, all righty. Let's get to one more guy bashing the Giants because it's not a show without us talking about that at this point. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it counts as bashing per se. So that's why I didn't call the segment that. But McKinney saying the Giants didn't want me. He also seems a little hurt. There's a lot of people being hurt today.
He seems like a kind of sensitive guy. We're going to be.
Yeah. I mean, well, listen, there was a lot of issues with him. And I know from experience of things I've been told, there's a lot of issues with him that didn't even leak out. There was stuff that he said that, he likes to be kind of the center of attention to a certain degree. There was the issue he had that was public with Wink Martindale, where he basically called out the coaching staff. You had the stuff with obviously the trip to Mexico and the broken hand. There's definitely been some issues when he was there. And I feel like I don't disagree that Giants didn't want him. I think the Giants looked at him and said, here's a safety, not a peak position. Here is a guy that we can replace in the draft much cheaper. And plus, we've had a couple issues with him. And I know everybody looks at the interceptions he had this year. Ooh, the Giants missed that. Yeah, don't get me wrong. The Giants definitely missed that. But, guys, did you see Xavier McKinney doing that with the Giants?
No. I mean, you could also argue that schemes and, Winks, that's not how he's set up to play with Wink Martindale because that's just how Wink.
He had 9 interceptions, though, in 4 years with us, guys. Had 8 last year with the Packers. What I'm kind of getting at is that may be his rookie. I mean, he does rookie. I'm sorry. Maybe his peak year. That may just be his best year he ever has. It's way too, it's way too crazy to sit there and say, like, this is a regular thing he's going to do year in, year out in Green Bay. He might have just had a peak year at the best, best time for the Packers to kind of validate their decision. I don't know. I think he's probably more like he was, with the Giants in like 23 and 21, when he was a really good player, got a couple interceptions. I don't think this is necessarily something you can count on a regular basis because he's never done it before. But like I said, there's definitely some issues that happen there behind the scenes. And like I said, I know there's more than what came out. I know that much. I'm not going to go too much into details, but, you look at what happened there, and you can't necessarily blame the Giants. But here's what McKinney said. This was a interview we had with Ari Meirov of the 33rd team. Said, I could tell they didn't really want me there. I kind of knew that, but for me, it was just like I've still got to play well, and I still have got to do the best I can for this team right now. I was still with the team, and I was still all in, but I could kind of tell the direction they were going. And he was asked about the departure of all the other different Giants. Let's be honest, there's a lot of Giants that have left in the recent years, especially on defense. Leonard Williams, Julian Love comes to mind, obviously. There's been a lot of people that have left, and without the Giants getting anything back. And a lot of it's been kind of money situations. Didn't want to pay Julian Love, didn't want to pay Leonard Williams, for example. When asked about it, he just said, that's my old team. They go about their business a certain way, and they feel like how they do things is the right way. Ultimately, that's how they feel. I can't do anything but respect it and wish them the best of luck. That's really all I can do. And like I said, you can tell there's bitterness there on his part. We say they go about their business a certain way. That's code for they go about it the wrong way.
Yeah. Or it's like, yeah, they go about their own way. It could be like McKinney saying, like, hey, I try to tell them this is what they need to do, or maybe we should try this. And they're like, no, we're doing it this way.
Yeah.
And shut them down.
Yeah. Like I said, I get where he's coming from because nobody ever wants to go and be like, well, my old boss didn't want me after all. Like they just let me walk out the door. Like nobody likes that feeling. So I get where he's coming from. But he's got to also recognize that he had some issues when he was here in New York. And that's part of the reason he's gone. Between that and the money issues. Because I can tell you this, it was reported that he said point blank the Giants were given a chance to match the offer the Packers gave him. Point blank. And they declined it. And that just tells me he wanted to be a Giant. So I think that's where a lot of this is coming from at his end. He wanted to be a Giant, and he's upset he's not a Giant anymore, but he's got to move on. I don't think the Giants necessarily did wrong by him at all. And he didn't do wrong by them either. Let me be very clear on that. It's like McKinney said, I want to come back to be a Giant. Here's the offer I got. And the Giants said, that's too rich for our blood. And they parted ways.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be drama. But McKinney sometimes causes a little drama. He's definitely got a little bit of drama llama. And that's what this is. He should have just pretty much said point blank, I gave them a chance to match. Didn't work out. We're parting ways. I wish nothing but the best of luck to them. But no, we had to do it this way. And this is the kind of stuff of why he's not a Giant anymore. Point blank. So, like I said, wish him nothing but the best. Again, appreciate everything he did while he was a Giant. But you can't be making yourself a story like that a year later. Same as we said with the Barkley thing, with his mom talking trash about the Giants. It's a year later, guys. Get over it.
Yeah.
We keep telling the fans to get over it. And this is part of why the fans have trouble getting over it. Because this stuff.
Bygones be bygones.
Yeah. So.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please,